times in the last 30 odd minutes. And what should be an incredibly easy trade is making some very simple money, so long as you're good at execution and you're not the victim of all of these tested sweeps. So we've got a massive amount of value, which is why it's not dropping. Massive amount of value means they're going to work it, they're going to work it, they're going to work it, they're going to work it against the bad sellers. Because there's lots of bad sellers, because everybody wants to be short. So people are willing to cross. People are willing to pay up for this bit of business because it looks so good. Well, these are the guys that end up having tight stops because they're scalpers, they're day traders. So you can see, so long as you've been careful in your entry process, 30, 31s, zeros, 31s, zeros, 31s, ones and twos, so long as you've been careful in your selling process up here, and there's massive amounts of value, you've been able to make money on every single one of these rotations, but the value is so good, they want to stay up here for as long as possible. It's like being on vacation and it's beautiful weather. You want to stay there, don't you? You want to just stick around for as long as you can. You know, there's no hurry to come up the road and you're saying, well, you know what, just keep it up here for a while. We're enjoying it. We're enjoying all these sellers that are willing to pay silly prices, and hopefully we can trap them, and hopefully we can squeeze them, and hopefully we can dice them up a little bit. And obviously that's exactly how this very valuable top edge is forming, isn't it? It's a very valuable top edge. But it's not going. It's just like into the bottom edges. You know, it was never even close to a one and done. Took 1, 2, 3, 4 attempts to get the buy trade in before we even made any money. And that was a very good bottom edge. Well, this top edge is every bit as good as the bottom edge was over here. The time of the day is obviously a little bit against us as a factor. Obviously, we're coming into the fixed income market close in the next 20 minutes or so in London. So you're obviously going to start seeing people polishing off their final positions. We've seen a bid coming back in equities, which is helping to keep bids in the bond market as well. And the shape of this, as I said, we've had 4 winning trades, but that's all we've had, 4 winning trades out of 4. None of them have made much money, and they've all ended up scratching. Every single one of them's ended up scratching eventually. And that's okay. That's something that happens at times. When we look at the amount of value we've got on this on a macro chart basis, you can see that the value is very bearish. But just like the top edges and the bottom edges, this top edge initially was so good. It really started over here, didn't it? 150 in the morning. Just as a reminder, this top edge, this sell opportunity, forget the dollar for a second, this sell opportunity from the bank's DV01 started at nearly 2 o'clock this morning. It was still working a top edge at 8 o'clock this morning. That was 6 hours. 6 hours. It kept the market bid for 6 hours, whilst it worked and worked and worked and worked. And then eventually there was this very substantial $1,000+ change sell-off. It was a $1,500 per contract sell-off. Eventually. So don't think it's something that can't happen. It happens all the time. Realistically, you probably already know it because you've seen it happen to yourself. You've thought you've got massive amounts of value and they just work it against you. They work it, they work it, they work it, and then you say, can't be bothered anymore. And it's exactly at that point, you come back to your screens an hour later and it's gone exactly the way you thought it was going to do. And it gives you one of those head-scratching moments where you go, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do with this? Well, just accept that that's what happens. That's the marketplace for you. That's the market that we deal in. That's what it's set up to do. It's set up to get as much business as possible, and that means finding two-way money, whether that two-way money happens to be stops and sells or stops and buys, so be it. That's the kind of two-way money we're looking for, right? Because if this market starts selling off, it's going to turn into one-way money, isn't it? You understand that? It's going to turn into one-way money. Why? Well, because everybody will be short. Everybody will be selling it. There's going to be no buyers. So the only buyers we can get just now are the guys that are sitting in the top edge as sellers, and it's their buy stop. So the only way we can get two-way money just now is to take it up, not down. Take it up, because the amount of value we've got in this in a sell is if it breaks, it's gone. So I know it's disappointing. I know it's frustrating. Welcome to the world of trading, guys.